Scar for life, y'all make some noise. Make some noise.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So first, why you art poet? Really, what happened? Became your passion.
So what started me off with poetry actually was I had to do a poem for my dad's eulogy, and I didn't really know how to articulate it. It took me like maybe 4 nights straight to even think about the first 4 words I wanted to say. I wrote maybe 4, 5 different pieces on how I wanted to say it because these are my last words to him. How can I articulate what it is that I'm feeling about you leaving me? And that all ties into the forgiveness piece. Like, when someone passes, it's a lot of hurt, it's a lot of anger, towards that person leaving you, and you never know how to deal with that.
Okay. So, this poem that you're performing tonight, what's it about?
So this piece that I'm performing tonight is going to be about suicide prevention, actually. So I had 2 friends. They were going through similar things. They were going through loss and also depressions. And it's called 28 Cuts in a Pill. So the first person, they cut themselves 28 times after being clean for 4 years. And the other person that had secondhand suicide, if y'all don't know what that means, basically means you want to die, but you can't bring yourself to take your own life. And that person actually had their drink drugged, basically, and they overdosed, and they were like minutes away from dying. And ironically, both of the people don't know each other, but they called me within 24 hours of each other. And for some reason, I keep finding people like suicidal come to me for refuge, basically. So I wrote this piece to connect with them.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's powerful. That is powerful. And do you think that this group could, how do you think it would impact us?
So when I wrote this piece, I wrote it to connect, and also to remember, because I've been in a depression. I've been in a suicidal state of mind, and a lot of people that haven't been suicidal, they always forget, or don't know. These people don't want to die. They want something inside of them to die.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, you can't judge them based off what you're seeing, because it's a lot of things that might have happened a week from now, 5 months from before, or 10 years before.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know what that person's been through. So you have to put yourself in their shoes. Why is it that we have to come face to face with death to finally want to live? Is it because we want to overdose on love, eating the words that we once thought would never happen until we finally found something worth living for? See, this might be a hard pill to swallow, but I know that we are tired of cutting ties with people that no longer serve us, the scars on our arms from all the pain and regrets that we did not let go, the slitting of my wrist and hands bloody from all this backstabbing. Why is it so hard to find a reason to live and so easy to find a reason to die? Is it because we are already dead? Trying to figure out why it is that we need to live? Who can be my reason why? Why I want to create a life? Because I feel like I'm always on my 13th reason. See, I've been at a crossroads, a rock in a hard place. See, the hard place, my heart, and the rock, the stones thrown at it from those I love. I ask for a ceasefire. So I'm stuck in the middle. Who should I choose, them or my heart? Because I think this is all my stupid heart's fault for getting too attached. So should I hold on just a little while longer, or should I let go? See, the truth is, maybe I just want to die, just so I can finally be able to say I'm a part of the Most High. And if this was war, it has to be spiritual, right? And on that field, I don't know, but to gear a spear to pierce the air, no, my weapon of choice would be to speak, to plead my case, screaming to the top of my lungs until I'm blue in the face, my sidearm an hourglass, so I can remember the time, because sometimes I can't think. Sometimes I can't eat. Sometimes I can't remember what I had worn today, yesterday, or last week. In my support, it'll probably be a scale, so you can weigh my heart, because I'm battling death every day, and I'm just awaiting the part that when I'm judged by the Most High, when my soul teleports and I finally beat my case, and God's Supreme Court. So don't judge me, because I already got to be judged when I die anyway. And that's that piece. Thank you. So, when I had wrote that piece, I was at a very vulnerable state of mind. I had to take myself back to when I actually had to bring myself out of a depression. You know, some people are suicidal and they don't have anyone to bring them out of a depression. You know, sometimes all they got is themselves and God, and some people don't have a connection with God. You know, and around that same time, I was really searching for him. And he really let me know, like, hey, you ain't got nobody, you got me. So that's how I got through my depression. But, you know, we always can make it easier on others to remember, hey, it's not the fact that everything's going to be okay, because the reality is, right now, in this very moment, you're not okay. So let me be that ear. I don't have to tell you, hey, this is what you need to do, because the reality is my situation ain't your situation. This one is actually about the second part of why I became a poet. So this is right before I lost my father, well, my stepfather. Anyone who knows me, they know my biological father passed away before I was born. And my stepfather, he just passed away this year, and he was basically the only dad I ever had. So when I lost him, it was kind of like, well, damn, because our relationship has been like up and down a million times, and you know, it was a very complicated relationship. So I wrote this piece because I basically got laced while smoking. I used to smoke a lot, like heavily, and it was this girl. She was the reason I started smoking. And one day I told God, because we were having like relationship issues or whatever, I told God, I was like, God, if I'm not supposed to be with her, if I can't be with her, let me be with you. And not in the sense of dying, but let me become closer to you. And then on my way, literally, I'm praying this as I'm going to her house. And I get there, and I find another guy in her room, and she's, you feel me, in her underwear and bra. So I'm like I couldn't even be mad, because I'm like, I just asked for this, you know? So like, yeah, after that, I went to go smoke some more, you know? So like, I don't have no reason to be smoking at this point, you know? The only reason I used to smoke was because of her. So God's like, put that shit down. You feel me? You don't need this. Pick up a book or something. More or less, yeah. So, when I got laced, I basically ended up, so if anybody know anything about like drugs, some drugs will have your whole body feeling like you out of this planet. And no, I don't do crack. No, I don't do anything other than, like, I don't even smoke weed anymore. But like, there's some stuff out there that will have your body feeling outrageous. Like, I broke my arm one time. They gave me a shot of morphine, and I feel like I went a million miles a second in 1 second. You feel me? So I ended up punching a microwave. That's where my scar came from. And it shocked my body out of whatever was going on. Like, the shock from the pain literally snapped my body out of all of that. So my stepdad came home from work, because he worked night shifts, came back at 6 in the morning. I actually woke up at 3 a.m. Weird. 3 a.m. on the dot. He came home, seen blood everywhere, blood all in the kitchen, in the bathroom, leading down to my bedroom. And he found me there. The doctors didn't know how I was even alive. And yeah, so this is basically my story of all that up until my dad passing. See, God has a way of showing all of his great provisions. And with great precision about his great predictions, he left his mark on me just so I could have y'all listen. To the words I've written, I let flow out of me. It's more than just words and spitting. In a mic, it's more my hopes, prayers, dreams, and wishes to see my people on the podium, not talking slaves and switches. whips and chains and itching from slave masters, raping children, men and women, man, just listen. I'm itching for hope, God, and love, no kissing. Cause it be demons I'm still fighting in my body and some witches. You ever been down so bad in the house of 13 but feel like family's missing? Yeah, I'm hitting home for some of y'all who heads is spinning, but man, just listen, I went from never having a dream about a good to having premonition. But it was just change I was so afraid of, the past I'm missing. Pastor, listen, I was in the mental hospital for 2 weeks seeking God. In other words, it felt like the past is missing. But I still got my word while the mask was hidden. Codex to Life showed me things and now I'm playing it different. Y'all probably up there talking about, man, he's kidding. Man, I ain't kidding. I went from cans and chitlins to cooking breakfast in a new home. That's a rare beginning. I get chills through my body so often it feel like hands be flipping over candlelights while the candles flicker. These YNs be out here running around with switches. The blood be sticking to white tees like untouched cheese from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, cause these wimpy kids don't fight no more. They just pick up the switch with 223s. Go through your trees and bust up your front door cause our communities is torn. The glass be half empty, half full, but the hurt that's pouring into the communities, into the family seeking opportunity, they'll say we'll just send them to the war. I mean, this is what they've been training their whole lives for. I mean, ain't that right? All this pain and strife filled through the air like kites on a windy night. Fight for life. All this uncontrollable choking on THC, the lungs fight for life like taking these bodily blows from cocaine and steroid primed up mic. Fight for life. Like, as we go, these young girls grow out here popping pussy with lows cause together they'll grow farther apart but still so close at the root. Fight for life cause I can't stand to see another night like this. Instead, this knowledge I bury it. No, y'all must not be hearing it. Y'all must be fearing. I said I'd take my fist, put it in the dirt, plant the seed, and sprout a tree that feeds the earth, because I can't stand to see my people starve. So they will feast like this is the last supper. I will be great. I will make it big. I will survive. I fight for life. That's that piece.
As we let us know, first of all, that was dope. Like I said, that was dope, bro. Like I said, let everybody know where to follow you and how we hear more of this stuff. Where you be at?
All right, so I started off at Poetry in the Park. I rock local. That's basically home for me. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Bilal_the_line. That's BILAL_the_line. I also have projects coming up. So if y'all don't know, they cut the funding for Michigan Arts.
Wow.
Yep. And I'm starting a nonprofit. So basically, it's everything supporting Detroit arts, from poetry to engineering, videography, photography, culinary arts. And yeah, so I'm basically having studios that will have people come in, not even have to pay, just sign up, use the equipment, and be able to do your projects, because some people can't afford to do certain things.
Yeah, no, that's real for sure. Yeah, we got to lock in. We got a similar project going. So yeah, make some more noise for them, man.
Hey, appreciate it.
Yep.